I have switched to Ethereum. I don't have as nearly as big a position as I had in Bitcoin. That's to come later. I had a big hit in Bitcoin, and I don't like to look back, but I know that it was enough to buy a house, so I'm thrilled.
Hi, welcome to Market Flow. I'm going to do a quick analysis of the market, as well as some of the major stocks and news that happened this week. Like the video, subscribe. Let's go ahead and start. Jim Cramer had a big loss, and I'm sure he's not the only one out there. That's why I put the clip in there, because there is plenty of people. There's a lot of people who perhaps are even new to the market, or even people like Jim Cramer, who has lots of experience in the market, who have lost a lot of money trading Bitcoin. So this is my thought right here. To me, this pattern looked very obvious. I made a video or two about how it was gonna break out, and then some of the levels where it was gonna bounce. I mean, patterns like that can be obvious for me, but there's gonna be times where patterns are going to be obvious to you, but they are not to me. And I encourage everyone to put in the comments below any things that maybe you disagree, or information that you knew about news that perhaps I'm not considering under a trading idea that I'm sharing here in the channel. Put it in the comments below. I would like to understand a different point of view of my trades, and as well that will help everyone who is watching the channel. So with that said, let's go ahead and start. So the last leg, it's a little tricky because it can fall short, and it can create sort of like a double or triple bottom in some cases. So that is why I'm watching it very close. If you look at the RSI right here, it looks like it starts gaining positive momentum, and so that can be a sign that Bitcoin is reversing soon. If I look at the weekly RSI, it looks like it still has more room to go to the downside. However, if it breaks 29, the next level that I have right now, it's 23. How I get that target? Well, it's the leg of the first wave. That's usually the target for the last wave. Now that's just the first target, but it can do an extension from there all the way to $20 to 20k. So that's my analysis right now on Bitcoin. If you want to see how I traded Riot, go ahead and watch my last video, and you're gonna get an idea of how I'm trading it risk-free. Manage your risk. There is definitely gonna be a signal once a reversal happens, and you'll be able to get there a little bit more safety. Right now, this is a little more high risk, high reward, because it can continue to fall from this downtrend right here. So those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. Let me know what you think. So as we have seen before, the SPY 500 has been trading on this channel right here ever since the market started recovering from March crash from last year. And every time it has dipped to this level of the channel, there has been buyers to step up and push the market higher. It goes the same thing here with the RSI. Every time it hits this level, there has been buyers to step up and buy the market. Now that happened again right here, and there was a strong reversal on the market. Now this is good news. This just means that there is going to be another leg to the upside. The market is looking very bullish. I'll probably be a little bit concerned if we would have finished with a candle like this. As you can see, this will be a little bit of an indecision. It will maybe make people think that this is a double top, but the way it finishes strong. It finished making a higher high. It makes me think that we're about to make another leg higher. The target that I currently have is for 43.30. This is for the futures, and I'm going to show you how I got that target. So if I go back to the 1 hour chart, and this is something that we talked about it during the last video, the intraday, it created this inverse head and shoulders, and this is a reversal pattern. And then as soon as it broke this level, you can see Right here you can see this really big candle, green candle right here. There's a lot of green candles right here, so there is definitely a lot of buyers right here. Came back tested it, these highs right here, it back tested this support, it got above it, and then eventually it just starts moving higher on this trend right here. So the way this pattern works is the distance from the head to the shoulders should give you your next price target, which is going to be 43.30. So from here to there, it looks like things are going to be bullish for the next few weeks, maybe for the next month. And as we have seen before, July month is very bullish for the most part. So I can see, if we follow the seasonality chart, that things are going to be bullish all the way to the end of July. And there's a few things that are coinciding with this timing. I'm going to share with you once we go over some of the tech leading stocks. So these are my thoughts right now for the SPY. If I go look at it again at a lower time frame, this is the pattern that it's doing right now. Perhaps it has moved too fast to the upside right now. You can see this is probably one of the biggest candles of a week or gains in the SPY for a very long time. It moved almost of 150 points. That's a huge move, 150 points for the SPY. I mean, in percentage wise, 3.6, that's a large move. I can see it coming back, maybe retesting the breakout part right here, so previous height for the next week, and then eventually pick up the momentum to the upside. So those are my thoughts right now. It's very similar when we look at the tech sector. So if I go and look at the tech sector, this is the 1 hour chart. Things are looking bullish right now. This is the correction that it happened. So it happened and it had an ABC, and then it kept going higher in this trend line right here. So things are looking very bullish. I think the Nasdaq looked a lot more bullish than the SPY 500 in my opinion. This way, and I'm zooming out, it's hard to see, but this is the correction that we had a few weeks ago. This is the correction that we had a few weeks ago. You can see it right here that perhaps this is the first leg. This is the second leg. The second leg is longer than the first leg, and the target for that leg is this level right here. It can extend even higher than that. It can have another extension, but the first extension is 1485, and then from there it's going to be 14750. So there you go. I think things are still looking bullish. If we still looking at this pattern right here, and this is going to be a fifth impulsive wave, which still match with the trend for the Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and look at the rates and see how they perform during the week. So right now this is the hourly chart, and you can see it on Friday right here. Something that happened is midday there was a pick right here on the treasury yield, and then the tech sector had a it started selling off a little bit. It didn't sold a lot, but it did sold a little bit. And then at the end of the day, at the closing, he just traded completely opposite to the rates, because at the end of the day, the tech sector gained a little bit of momentum, and then it closed strong, but then at the same time the yield, it was just back testing the 20 moving average. So this is a little bit of concern. This blue line is a 20 moving average. It did close above it. That's a good signal right here. You can see on the RSI that it's trying to reverse. If for some reason the treasury yield starts making another leg higher, it closes above the 50 moving average, and then things start getting above it, then that will be a signal that perhaps tech it's about to sell off, maybe make a leg lower, maybe consolidate, but it's not gonna make higher highs. Let's go ahead and look at the XLE. XLE had this reversal right here, and so it's doing fine. It keeps moving higher. Oil caps has increasing in price quite a bit. It has reached 74. It looks like it's starting to get a little bit toppy. Like I said before, it's probably gonna consolidate within this area for some time. So that's what I'm seeing right now with the oil sector. And then with XLF right here, the financial sector, so like we talked about it as well last week. I mean, you could trade it or not, but yeah, the financial sector did came back all the way to the 50 moving average, and it looks like it did close above the 50 moving average, so that's a bull signal right there. And this is due to the stress test that happened during the week. So I believe when this type of news happen, the financial institutions are allowed to do buybacks on their stock. And even though the stress test was a good news and it went all the way to the 50 moving average, based on the news, things look bullish based on the chart. This is just a dead cat bounce in my opinion. It can continue going higher, but I wouldn't bet either way. I wouldn't bet on it, because I think the banks will likely buy at lower levels. And if you think about it, right, what happened with this type of news? Well, retail investors starts buying banks, right? They starts buying Bank of America, they start buying Goldman Sachs, who knows, they start buying, and then at these levels they generate enough liquidity for big institutions, big banks to be able to liquidate. So once this liquidity is in the market, they can easily sell big blocks. Once they're done selling, they're probably gonna, I don't know, do something to be able to get the stock down maybe to a reasonable level, and then they're gonna do the buyback. That is my speculation. Okay, last, dollar. So again, the dollar, we talked about it, very strong signal right here, very strong bullish signal, consolidating. This is more likely a bullish consolidation, getting ready for another leg higher. Now, there's two things that can combine in the next few days that can cause the market to panic. One is if the dollar rise higher real quick, real fast, that can cause a little bit of pain in the market. And then two, if the interest rates spike above the 50 moving average. So those are the two things to be watching next week. The interest rates have the potential to make another leg higher, and then eventually if they break for some reason this level, then that's going to cause a little bit of pain in the market. So those are my thoughts in the market. Let's go ahead and review real quick the big cap names. So let's go ahead and start with Apple. Again, Apple looks very bullish. It's breaking out of this pattern right here, and like we said, we saw bullish bets for 140 and 150 on the option chain, and I think things are still in play for that. So as long as it keeps uptrending, things are gonna be good. You can see the RSI is losing momentum a little bit, not much, but it is a sign that there could be a possible reversal coming up soon. It got a little bit outside of the channel. To me, this looks like one wave, two waves, three waves, and perhaps it's going to do an ABC, correct all the way to the 130 level, and then continue moving higher. And then this will be the first leg of an impulsive move all the way to the 160. So those are my thoughts for Apple. As long as it can hold this level right here, 129, 130, things are pretty bullish on Apple, in my opinion. AMD looking very well as well. Looking very well. It still holds this channel right here. RSI still has momentum to the upside. Again, it's having a little bit of difficulty breaking above this downtrend channel right here. So we got to see what happens. We got to see what happens with AMD. Amazon. So Amazon, it got rejected from the high right here. I think it was hype up. There was this news about their sales online. I didn't follow it that much, but last week we saw those big blocks of puts that institutions bought. So it's probably gonna come here. This is the next resistance level, and then we can watch from here if it holds. But this right here should act as resistance. All these moving averages right here. So there's a few things to point out here about ARK. If we make a line right here, this is kind of like a trend line, a downtrend line, and you can see the impulsive move to the upside once it broke that trend line. Whoever is paying attention to this line right here put big money on ARK, and then it's been trending up ever since. You can see that right there, and this trend line coincides with Tesla movements. So right now it looks bullish. I can see it coming up, making another leg higher from here, and then eventually this part right here should act as resistance. All of this level, you can see this is where it has been sold in the past. So all of this should act as a little bit of resistance, consolidation, maybe pull back a little bit before it makes another leg higher. Disney. And then from there, I think this part right here should be a little bit of accumulation right here. It break out, back tested this level. We have to wait. It has to cross above the 50 moving average. Positive momentum of the RSI. It looks very good. And then Facebook. On Facebook, yeah, this one right here, that was my target, 340. It broke above it, so this is one of the stocks that is breaking out. Can it be a fake breakout? Perhaps it can be a fake breakout. That happens sometimes. So, but you can see right here, it had struggled to get above it, and then it broke out, back tested it. To me, it looks bullish. It looks like this is the resistance level, 2450. If it starts closing above 2450 and it starts making big legs higher like this, green candles, then that is going to be a signal that is breaking out. But in my opinion, you can see this, how overextended it is. Negative divergence. Yeah, like I said before, it's getting ready for a correction. And Microsoft breakout as well, and then it's doing a back test of this breakout. It looks a little bit extended, but it can still move higher, as long as it can stay in this channel right here. It has to hold the breakout. It has to hold this level right here, 263, in order to keep moving higher. If it doesn't, then it's going to be a fake breakout, and then we're gonna probably come back to the 50 moving average, the 20 moving average. So we have to see that, like, understand that this is the range of the stock right here, and know where you want to buy. So if you look at it right here, there's an uptrend. So this is probably giving you a better idea. So there's an uptrend right here. So this should act as a strong support. So somewhere around 270 to 280. That should be a good, like, once the news are out of the way and people forget about it. And then last news here is XPEV. XPEV is, maybe I can pull them up from here actually. So they're selling $45 million of shares. So yeah, this is gonna cause the stock to sell off a little bit. If I were to trade this one to the downside and this one was going to do an ABC, This will be perhaps the target 36. It will match this level right here. So that will be about 8 point right here. 6 to 6 points. So that'll be about 6 points. It can continue going lower than that, who knows, but at least this is what I'm thinking that is going to happen. So there you go. So this is all the news. Thank you for watching. You have a great weekend. Enjoy it. So I'm going to do a quick conclusion right here. The market looks bullish. Things look like they're about to continue going to the upside. There's definitely few warnings and indicators that you can pay attention to. We talk about the interest rate right here. If the interest rate starts spiking, that's going to hurt the tech sector, and perhaps the tech sector may have to do a retracement, and it can retrace back to 341, maybe to any of these moving averages right here, and then resume forward. But right now, even the QQ has positive momentum on the other side right here. There's no negative divergence. Look how strong it looks right now. And many of the major stocks right now in the QQ are breaking out, including Tesla. So there is really not much negative or bearish sentiment in the market. So the news on Netflix, right? There were positive news right here, and look what happened with the stock. Lots of buyers, lots of investment. This is money flowing into the market right now. Even with Apple, even with other tech sectors, money is flowing into the market. This is a good sentiment right now in the market. If the news would have come up here and then it probably would have sold off, then that would be a different story. But right now, things are looking bullish. It had a downtrend right here, Netflix, and now it's probably going all the way to 560, and it's perhaps gonna break that, and it's gonna make new all-time highs. So as the last warning here, yes, the market is very overextended from the recovery, and I've seen many analysis in the market that we're pretty close to a correction. From experienced traders to experienced investors as well, and I don't want to discard that from the table and give you a warning that we could experience a massive correction. I've talked about it in the past in some of my videos as well. And if we look at the last crash right here, the market did give a fake out. It did a quick recovery, and then after a few days, then it was a sharp fall down. So things can go south pretty fast, like you can see right here. There's a negative divergence right here. We could be in a similar situation right here. For many analysis that I did, I was marking 420 and 430 as the top levels for the SPY 500, and based on the short-term move, we could get to 430, maybe a little bit higher than that. But for right now, things look bullish, at least for the short term, the sentiment. And if we start breaking down important levels, then you probably know things are going to go south. So be careful, trade with responsibility. Know that things can go south at any time. Pay attention to the interest rates and the dollar, because those are going to be the indicators of the market coming up soon. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Manage your risk.